Hello guys, welcome to the Bright Agent. Today I'm going to be showing you Newton's 3 laws in excellent detail. Given that my favourite A-level is physics, favourite science is physics, not my favourite A-level, and I'm taking A-level physics, it also works for me as well since it allows me to kind of revise physics, so I'm here to show you it in excellent detail. The first law of Newton's first law is that an object will remain stationary, like this object, unless a force is placed on it. So this is stationary because no forces have been placed on it. The resultant force here is 0 because there is normal force which goes up here in this direction, and then there is gravity which goes down here in this direction. So the thing is, if I kick it like this, then I placed a force on it, so that moves because I placed a force which comes from my foot on it. So then this moved, but due to the friction on the ground, it became stationary. So that's basically a practical example of Newton's first law. Newton's second law, however, is mass is inversely proportional to acceleration, given that the amount of force you place on it is the same. So if I get, for example, if I place a force on it, then something that would be like this but bigger will have less of an acceleration if I put the same force on it, because if I place the same amount of force and it has a bigger mass, then that means its acceleration will be smaller, which means it won't move at a faster velocity or at a faster rate in meters per second squared. So that's essentially what Newton's second law is. So let me show you like a direct example. So for example, I have this and I have this. If I place a force on this, that wouldn't move as far because I kind of use the same force for it. So therefore, it won't move as far, and neither will it have greater acceleration. In fact, it'll have smaller acceleration. Whereas if I kick this with the same amount of force, this will go further because there's less mass, even though I place the same amount of force on it, because it has greater acceleration, which therefore means it will move a greater distance. Now the third law is probably the most memorable one. Every action has an equal but opposite reaction. So if I place a force on this by lifting it up, it will have the same reaction by placing its own force on my hand. So it'll have the exact same force. So force is kind of conserved here. And this is kind of why conservation of mass is also there, because it's the same force that I use to lift it up. It's the same force that it's putting on my hand. So that's kind of how Newton's third law works. Remember, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's a perfect exam way. Remember the specific law. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Be bright, stay right, and I hope you stay tuned for another video. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe for more great content like this. Thank you for watching.